Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name is Gonzii and today we are going to be reacting to another casual geographic video called The One Rule of Nature School Never Taught Us. So yeah man, let's go and check this one out. Let's get it.
Hello.
What's up, goat? What's up, bro?
She wants to come in, guys.
Hey, yo. Seen that clip before, bro. Orangutan just swings a raccoon, bro.
Consistently
Or a
lied to
possum.
your entire life, and the biggest source of some of the most unprovoked lies is school.
Yep,
School
facts.
told us that this dude in '92 discovered America, that quicksand and giant Venus flytraps were way more of an issue than they ended up being.
True.
Writing in cursive was the only way you'd ever be taken seriously.
Facts.
And my personal favorite, whenever a teacher would say, "This won't slide in college." Whole time, your calculus professor at 5 p.m. can end up your beer pong partner by 11. There's one mistruth that insists on being spread, and before we get to that, story time. So back in the 70s, ornithologists noticed something pretty disturbing, even for them. Fola is a remote island over 200 miles off Scotland, and for generations, migratory birds, specifically Arctic terns and one of the ops of Happy Feet, the skua, use it as nesting grounds to raise their chicks.
Oh,
A
cute.
group of ornithologists noticed a gruesome trend of chicks with pretty graphic injuries. Some chicks looked like they had a leg or two ripped off.
Damn.
For others, the same, but with their wings. Some chicks even had their heads divorced from their body, for sure irreconcilable. And while some of the chicks somehow survived being mutilated, scientists had no idea what was causing this sudden rise in amputees. At first they guessed otters or even hedgehogs, but it turned out to be neither. You wanna know what it was? I promise you'll never guess it. I'll even give you a chance to try. Comment what you think. I bet you're wrong. The answer? Sheep.
Damn.
Sheep. Scientists observed
Sheep,
racing
bro.
sheep stumble across a defenseless chicken without a second thought or really even much of a prequel, grab them and eat them. Sometimes the sheep would snap off a leg for a premature drumstick. Other times they might grab them by the head and initiate a permanent separation.
Hey, yo.
Skull and all whole. From 1973 to 1980, nearly 700 baby birds have been victimized by the business end of a carnivorous Q-tip. In the grand scheme of things, that's only a dent in the thousands of birds born in that time. Then again, nobody expected sheep to be involved in foul play.
Bro.
And that goes back to those lies I told you about. So in science class, we were taught this rule. Herbivores eat plants,
Yep.
carnivores eat meat, and those with culinary commitment issues are called omnivores. And for a lot of us, that's where it ended, but of course, nature's more complicated than that. It's like a spectrum, and on one end you have obligate herbivores, as in they're obligated to eat just plants or starve to death. Here you got animals like koalas, sloths, and the dead-eyed plush toy, the bear cuscus.
Okay.
Then you have the same concept but obligate carnivores, like cats, of every kind. And smack in the middle are your omnivores. But there's also facultatives, and basically that means most of the time you'll find them at one end, but every once in a while they'll borrow a meal plan from the other side. Polar bears are hypercarnivores, with most of their calories coming from seals, but rarely they'll switch it up to berries, seaweed, moss, and even straight up grass, which makes them facultative carnivores and not an obligate like a lion. And since we're already on bears, pandas are a good example of facultative herbivores. I promise it's gonna get less complicated, but the yin-yang yogi's defining personality trait is being a bamboo merchant. But every once in a while,
Bamboo merchant, yeah?
like when this panda was caught in 4K eating a past tense wildebeest, or when the DreamWorks jockey chased, caught, murked, and ate a peacock. They were known to hunt pikas. That's a pika. So even though most of what goes down its gullet is bamboo, protein in the form of meat is never really off the table, which makes them facultative herbivores. And they're not
Damn, okay, I'm learning a lot, bro. This is sick.
Facultative, even the ones you wouldn't expect. That's how the Good Vibes vegan aqua blimp has also been known to snag fish from nets for themselves.
Damn.
You got the normally vegetarian shell jockey, the tortoise,
Tortoise.
turning a rabbit carcass into a cookie. They've also been known to plot on and consume unlucky birds. To be fair, you can literally fly but get taken off a
No.
That's more about you than him. There was even that time India released 25,000 flesh-eating turtles to deal with the whole corpse population problem in the Ganges.
Wow.
It didn't work, by the way. But by far, the biggest culprit of covert carnivory are deer. The same deer that's usually the poster boy for the middle child of the food chain will occasionally get calories from something like a past tense bunny. A couple years ago, researchers wanted to see just what happens to the human body after the soul evacuates, and basically set up these body farms to see how they decompose. As you can probably guess, photos would go viral featuring deer chewing on human bones, scavenging through the man-made remains of vultures.
I didn't know that.
In 2015, researchers in North Dakota set up nest cams for a 24-hour live stream of the hatchlings, and not only did the footage catch deer enjoying an extremely late-term omelet, the cervix actually outdid the foxes and weasels in that area, i.e. the ones you'd expect that from. And it wasn't just them being opportunity merchants, some of those deer went out of their way to get to them. And in
Bro's
Canada,
actually
scientists work to
chewing.
study different species of birds and so trap them using mist nets, only for the unhinged ruminants to stroll in and eat the trapped and struggling birds alive, right out of the nets. Growing up is realizing Bambi would have 100% turned on Thumper if times got tough. I now
Damn.
believe that a nutrient deficiency and a food shortage is really all it takes for an animal.
A kangaroo, bro! Eating a
One thing
penguin!
about animals, they don't care. A deer not finna pass down a chance for easy protein just because a textbook says they should.
Bro.
The twist is, almost every herbivore on Earth is facultative, meaning they'll take a page out of a book if circumstances call for it. That's how you get normally docile horses treating baby birds like popcorn chicken, or that time cows in Australia were caught slurping pythons like fruit roll-ups, all because they were apparently fiending for phosphorus. Even giraffes. Yeah, they're not safe either. The verticality merchants of the motherland will often feed off the bones of other animals. Not really swallowing them, but more like licking and sucking on it, pause. So there's
Pause.
leech off like calcium
Bro.
and phosphorus. There have also been cases of the camel leopard cosplaying antelope snatching up birds to feed on their misfortune.
Damn.
So far, we've learned 3 things. 1, most herbivores are about as vegetarian as their options. 2, baby birds are really the Kit Kat bars of nature. And 3, now you see why Marty did everything in his power to get up out of there. His entire family would have had his hide if it got to that.
Damn.
Which of course brings us to hippos. And this is
Oh yeah, hippos eat everything, bro.
complicated. At this point, it probably surprises exactly none of you that the 4
Bro, they are trash compactors, bro.
For flesh. Hippos have been seen eating carcasses
Damn.
and even resorting to cannibalism.
Yep.
It's complicated.
I knew that.
Because for a while, we thought it was the same deal as before, just animals switching it up when their primary food source is compromised, which would make hippos facultative herbivores. There's that word again. Except, more and more scientists are coming to the conclusion that hippos eating meat aren't just scavenging or being opportunists. It's just hippos hippoing, as in hippos will put themselves in a position to catch a body and subsequently feed on it. There have been reports of hippos murking livestock and
12 cows.
assaults, and some even believe hippos will purposely park themselves in a river migrating animals have no choice but to cross, just so they can turn the casualties into animals. Sometimes that involves punking crocodiles out of food. And of course, you already know, hippos are not above feeding off friendly fire. All this means, hippos might not even be herbivores at all, but identify closer to the omnivore side of the spectrum. And that's why it's complicated, because now you're probably asking, what's the difference between a facultative herbivore and a straight up omnivore? And there's an answer. I just really couldn't tell you. Like, you could say facultatives eat mostly plants.
No.
Where omnivores can normally go either
And
way.
he's
But
gone.
if I said I didn't just make that up on the spot. The moral of the story, it's way more complex than just putting labels on things and calling it a day. For example, this.
What's that?
A common diker, and it's an antelope less than 2 feet tall found in sub-Saharan Africa. And I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's the only antelope that regularly eats meat.
Damn.
With the shrubs and grasses you'd expect, the meal plan for this antelope undertaker often involves combing through corpses, along with lizards, frogs, small rodents, and, you guessed it, baby birds.
Wow.
And because a good percentage of their
Baby
diet
birds out here just getting eaten, bro.
I'd call the diker an omnivore. But then, you got this. The tree-loving, pretty much acorn hoarders of the modern world. Many will tell you that with a grocery list of plants, fruits, nuts, and seeds, the squirrel is mostly herbivorous. But squirrels are also infamous for raiding birds' nests and turning pre-meat poultry into protein. And yeah, they do this a lot. On occasion, you'll see squirrels pack up chickens and snakes.
Wow.
There was even a story of a pack of Russian squirrels ganging up on a stray dog and eviscerating the canine alive, each scurrying off with their flesh. Yeah, not so cute now. They're not the only rodents that go rogue either. Normally, grass-eating prairie dogs have been known to savage baby ground squirrels, and on rare occasions, even eat the remains. In case you're curious, they do this by shaking the baby violently until their existence gets revoked. That's not my worst rodent fact in the chamber. In 1995, a 43-year-old woman was found deceased in her flat, and with facial lesions and lacerations, and the fact that she was naked from the waist down, first responders thought it was a special victims unit kind of crime. Except it was later determined that she had expired to pneumonia. The desecration of her corpse was caused by her pet golden hamster. Not only did the pet feed on her vacation, law enforcement would find the hamster's makeshift burrow containing human skin, flesh, and muscle tissue. That shouldn't even really be a surprise since hamsters are known cannibals, but what you might not know is that sometimes it can be caused by corn. Researchers at the University of Strasbourg found this out by accident when they tried to figure out why the female hamsters under their care kept dominating their own children. Through some likely traumatizing trial and error, they figured out that just a corn diet was even the hamsters missing vital crucial vitamins, specifically B3. They figured that out because once they added B3 back into their diets, the mother hamsters suddenly remembered how to mother. And the crazy part is, that can happen to people. Vitamin D deficiency can lead to pellagra, a disease associated with diarrhea, hepatitis, dementia, and eventually dying. So in a weird twist, an unbalanced
Damn.
diet can really lead to spawn-wrecking rodents, and they're not the only known cannibals in nature. Chimpanzees are a great example of animals don't
Oh
care.
yeah, they don't
Chimps
care,
have been
bro.
known to de-life
They
their rivals
do
and
not
devour
care,
their
bro.
body. Now, to us, it's horrific and it makes chimps the spawn of Satan. To a chimp with no legal system or a sense of morality, just a will to live, it's common sense.
Drink water, by the way.
Survival to protect your food supply and not letting easy protein go to waste. And before you judge, early humans reportedly made the brains of terminated children a somewhat regular part of their diets. But I think people forget
Hey,
chimps
bro.
aren't just violent pseudo-vegans, they're legit predators.
They are.
As in, they'll
They
work
are.
together in coordinated attacks on prey like colobus monkeys. Which, you know,
Damn.
isn't
Not
all
shit.
that different from getting disemboweled by a pack of Olympic-level parkour zombies. They've also been known to hunt bush babies, that's a
Yep.
bush baby, by using spears.
True.
But with all the chimp carnage on this channel, them having carnivore tendencies should really be no surprise. The plot twist is, even the pacifists of the great apes can be on predatory timing. Most people, including me about 2 weeks ago, see orangutans as a good vibes hippie vegetarians.
They are good vibes,
Which is
bro.
almost true. Ginger apes eat mostly the stuff you'd expect, you know, fruits, figs, leaves, maybe some termites to go with bird eggs. But then you got this, an orangutan tearing apart a slow loris. The same one known to be
Damn.
venomous, which orangs figured out how to neutralize by using the loris's natural weakness, blunt force trauma in the form of a bite through the skull. Now, to be fair, a meat-eating man of the forest is remarkably rare. But then again, chances are, before this video, a good number of y'all probably thought orangutans were only a threat to pieces of fruit.
I did.
Same way a lot of people feel about toucans.
No!
Pointed up woodpecker, which is actually what toucans are, the more you know.
He's so
Also been known to
beautiful,
eat
bro.
bats on permanent leave from life.
Bats is
That's
okay.
what our Fruit Loops
That's
commercials
okay.
show you. They're also one of the many animals on the list of population
Damn.
control for baby birds.
That's
But
the
without
Pokemon,
that,
bro.
well, toucan play that game. Yo, who wrote this? I did. I wrote it. I'm sorry. But birds in general will eat virtually anything that doesn't pack them up in the process.
Facts.
Eagles have been seen scarfing.
Yeah, I've seen those
several
videos.
reports, and I'm pretty sure there's at least one person.
They
who's
just
down
cran
with
rats, bro,
lions.
whole, and
The
squirrels.
biggest example of feathery f***ery is what
Damn.
happens on Malgus Island. This is where we go full circle. This island off the coast of South Africa is a nursery for the thousands of Cape Gannets nesting. This would
Damn!
probably be a good
It
idea.
must stink in there,
Recently,
bro.
switched to the pelicans.
It just smells bad, you know
White
it.
Pelicans started
Oh,
traveling to
pelicans,
Malgus
bro. Garbage
just so they could swallow
disposals, bro.
Ganges whole,
Damn.
often right in front of their parents. And if one was unlucky enough to have both parents out at sea, that's just an easy link for this Attack on Titan terror story.
Damn.
It gets worse when you realize the half-digested, fully molested baby birds often end up being regurgitated for the pelican progeny to eat. And you thought they just ate fish. Predators come in many forms, and one island in the Pacific is home to one
Bro.
most unlikely. Because if you bleed on the wrong island, you can attract a pack of coconut crabs.
Oh yeah.
It's a satanic
Look at
manifestation
the size of those
of
bastards, bro.
blood. They're more than enthusiastic scavengers. In a study done on Nikomaroru Island, it took the
Nikomaroru.
hermit crabs a week to completely undress a pig carcass down to the bone.
Damn.
With pinchers strong enough to humble a coconut, the killer crabs are more than capable of catching their own prey, especially when they can climb trees and ambush sleeping birds. This video was taken of a crab after it had snapped the hollow bones of a seabird.
Wow.
What you don't see is where a group of crabs arrived at the injured and incapacitated avian and proceeded to tear the bird apart. They've also been known to make a meal out of
Wow.
rats, cats, and
I did not know that.
because a grisly theory on the disappearance of Amelia Earhart was that a cluster of crabs got to her before anyone else.
It's one of the theories.
Worst part,
Yeah.
there's no guarantee she was relieved from life by the time they got to her. Because even though Mr. Krabs on creatine normally goes for fruit, just like most animals on Earth, they're only as vegetarian as their options. Hug your loved ones, stay safe out there,
Come
and
on.
see y'all in the next
Let's
one.
go. So yeah, man, one of the best videos that I've watched from Casual Geographic, man. I learned a lot. I knew like seagulls and stuff eat like whole rats, bro, and squirrels and everything, whole, just push it down the gullet, bro, and pelicans as well. But like deer, I didn't know majority of them, bro. Like the crabs, the chimps I knew. Chimps is well known, bro. Is well known. Orangutans I didn't know. Stuff like that, bro. Phenomenal video. I learned a lot, and yeah, man, as usual, Casual Geographic being the GOAT, bro. He's awesome. He's phenomenal. Go subscribe to the homie. Support this Patreon if you can. And yeah, man, subscribe to my channel as well, bro. We are almost at 500. Please subscribe to the channel, bro. Come on, share with your friends and family, bro. Let's go. But yeah, before you go, don't forget how we end videos on the channel, bro. Come on, keep God first as always. Drink water, go tell somebody you love them, and if you're here, you know what to do, man. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. My name is Gonzii, and see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye.
think you're better.